toxic people and excuses that keep us with them. Let's talk about this. Roll it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. If this is your first time here, subscribe to the channel so you get that daily motivational idea that will get you moving in the right direction. Had an email come in from somebody who's been watching my toxic videos, and that's toxic people videos that we all have to deal with once in a while. And they're putting in this idea of, hey, it's too hard to work with integrity. And again, this mentality of excuses will make the process harder of us dealing with toxic people. Let's jump into this. Hi Nikos, I saw some videos on toxic people that you have. Thank you. Or thank you for watching. Integrity is a theme you have going, but it isn't always that easy. I never said it was easy, but integrity is the way. Sticking to your values. My life is too complicated and I can't just quit my job. I'm trying to be positive, but it just isn't that simple. Man. Okay, so where do we start with this? Everybody's life is complicated. Everybody has issues in their life. Everybody deals with issues, things that pop up. We always have problems. There's always something happening. I like to rotate my tires, make sure they're good. I like doing all that work. And then I was using the drill, air compressed drill, and I had the bolt on and it ripped somehow. I've never done that before. And it was past 8 o'clock and I was needing to figure out a solution before the store closes to get another drill bit so I can get my tires back in there so I can be up in the morning and off to work on the things I needed to work on. Things happen. This is life. Life happens. And yes, they go from small things we deal with to incredibly large, hard things that we never want to deal with. Incredible things that nobody should be going through, but we do have to go through them because life is life and things happen. So how do we look at this approach and look at your statements? For one, you're saying I can't just quit my job, and which tells us that your toxic person is in your job and you want to leave that job, but you can't quit because your life's complicated, which I'm assuming you probably have family obligations and bills to pay and all that stuff, so you can't just get up and leave, which I don't really recommend to people because that's not really how I see dealing with things. You don't want to just, oh, I'm dealing with somebody at work, I'm going to quit my job and go, because you're going to go to another job and you're going to meet another person that's toxic and you repeat the loop. Learning how to communicate and how to deal with these people is incredibly important for you because of that last statement. And the reality is that yes, you eventually want to leave this job and go find something else. How are we going to approach that subject? How are you going to go look for something else while still maintaining the that positive outlook, but not forcing a positive outlook? It's actually dealing with the issues so that you can get through them in a more positive light, not a negative one. When I make my videos on saying no and knowing to say no, it's coming from a place of integrity. You look at what you're willing to do, what you're not willing to do, and those are based on your principles, your values. Those are based on that integrity. That whole thing is part of that whole integrity, and you're gonna say, you know what, I don't like being treated like that. Sit back down and say that no. And you're gonna implement this over a series of days, weeks, months, until you do find something else. And that other side of thing is, where do you start looking for another job? Why is it so hard for you to start looking for another job? Forget quitting on the spot. Why can't you go find something else so that eventually, maybe down the road, a month, 2 months, 3 months, you find something else where you can leave? So when you're sitting there going, hey, I'm trying to be positive, if I walked into a building where everybody, I just walked in there and everybody was negative and everybody was just like, every time I went to say something or do something, I get slapped across the face and be like, no, you do not do anything. This is your role and I have the right to bully you or whatever is going on. You know, I couldn't maintain positivity no matter how positive of a person you are. You're just going to be going in there and you're going to be going, oh, I'm here again, and my positive level that I thought I'd come in with just dropped to the ground, and that's it. I've been in those environments. I think many of us have, and I think we all know what we're talking about when we, you know, it's not as drastic as my example, but, you know, that was exaggeration a little bit, but you know, you get what I mean. You can't stop that negative onslaught. And if you're going somewhere where there's toxicity in the people you're working with, you can't stop that easy by being positive. You know, the negativity will come. The only real way to deal with it is to start communicating in a way where your integrity is coming out. And maybe, yes, you are not going to say no right away to things, but you're going to start making decisions there, saying things you need to be saying that revolve around that integrity that you have. It's a build-up. It's not an overnight thing. I suggest you watch the other videos, and I suggest you make a list. And after you watch the videos and really start thinking, hey, what are the things that really bother me on an ongoing basis? What are the people that bother me? What are the things that are bothering me? What have I been doing? You know, these 3 steps are critical. What have I been doing? Is it all reactive, and am I being reactive in a way that goes against my integrity? It goes against my principles and my values. And ask yourself, how many times have you stood up for yourself in certain situations where you know you should have? And would you be telling, say, your kids, you know, hey, you know, don't worry about it, keep doing what I've been doing? Or would you be like, you know what, you got to stand up for yourself and start moving towards, you know, really fortifying yourself as a person of strong character? And these are the series of events that I would be taking over the next month, 2 months, to really start addressing what is happening at work. And if it's something that's above and beyond the scope of just what communication can fix, and you need to have other people like HR intervene, you need to do that. Don't be fearful, because that's it. Either way I say it, it's hard. Whether I say to somebody, yes, you should contact HR if something bad is occurring, or I say, you know what, you know, just deal with the people and work with them, and, you know, really work to build that confidence in you to not allow anybody to trample on your values and your principles. Well, it's a hard thing to do because people think the consequences that will come with it. And it's incredibly hard to get anybody to just do this overnight. It takes time. And this is what I'm trying to explain with, you know, that line you said, yeah, integrity is great and everything, but it's not that easy. It's not that simple. It's not. It never is. I never said it was, and I don't preach that it is. The people that go out and try and continually try have success with it. And the people that don't, well, they're not going to have success with anything they do, because the reality is that you need to practice this stuff and grow into it. You can't do it overnight. I would do these things, and then I would start looking for another job, and I would look for either a job where I can hop out of this and it would be a intermediary job where I'm going to be there for 3 months, 6 months, a year, and get into it and leave if this is overwhelming for you and it's too much. Or I would say, you know what, I'm going to start practicing this because I'm going to meet more toxic people down the road. I'm going to have to learn how to deal with them. I'm going to have to deal with the fact that, hey, I experienced this and I don't want to have it happen again. So I'm going to make sure in the next place I go to, my values and my principles and my integrity is intact, and I'm centered when I communicate with them, and I really stand tall and firm. And, you know, and you're going to practice that for X amount of time while you look for that better environment. You know, on the one hand, yeah, it's easier to just find something, eventually jump out and be a temporary land and then find something, or you take this route. And I mean, either way you look at it, or I would say the best, I don't think anybody would give you advice other than the fact to say, hey, you need to deal with this right now because of your situation at home, or, you know, whatever's going on, you can't just quit. They would probably suggest one of those two things. And I mean, you know, you need to eventually leave. You can't stick around. It's an uphill battle that's going to take a lot of energy out of you. And the question is, how committed are you to keep on moving forward, staying at this place? My name is Nikos Rentas. This is mentorsapproach.com. Hit a like if you like what you see. Of course, hit the subscribe button to get your daily motivational idea to get yourself moving in the right direction. Of course, leave a comment below. This is one of the many ways people deal with things, and it's great to get that feedback from one sense of what people have done in relation to this, but also what are things that have worked in your story, because leaving your comment below, somebody might read it, and who knows, you might help change a life.